The undeniable GOAT.
She's the one driving the motorcycle. That's actually really interesting.
Drake's riding on the back?
He's right on the back. You can say that's soft, though. Drake is funny.
That's not soft.
I mean...
Is it soft if your girl's driving the car? Stop. Come on now.
The motorcycle's a little different, though, because you usually thinking a man riding, she's hugging on you for protection, you know?
Oh, my God. For protection? She's holding on because you don't want to fucking fly off the 70-mile-an-hour motorcycle.
That's also
what are we talking about?
That's the most important thing. But
we make fun of men for lack of masculinity too easy. Too easy.
No, the internet era, it's become like, I think it's the red pill influence subconsciously. Even if you don't really
make sure to move your mic closer to you too.
Even if you don't really watch it, I think it's the red pill influence because I don't know, man. I feel like subconsciously I always think about like, does that look soft? But I think a lot of men do that. Like not just towards yourself, but towards other men. Like
in what? Like give me an example. Because I don't really think about it too much. I think that I'm just secure in my own masculinity.
When a lot of men go into a tizzy, both when it happens to them or when it happens to other men, the way they talk about women proposing. It's like a thing.
Bro,
it's
I think that's the most masculine thing you could possibly do.
He's a bitch. He's a pussy. She should have known not to do that.
That would be the most
I've seen
fly
people say
shit. If you were to get your woman to be so in love with you that she proposes to you, she goes out and buys you a ring, dog. That's masculine as fuck to me. I don't know. That's what I was saying. I think we just get
gender norms. It's like it's traditional. The male has to take the. But I agree. I would be flattered. I wouldn't see none. See, but it depends.
I would flex that
because I feel like she really wants you, dog. I feel like you know what I'm saying because I feel like a lot of women settle like men settle. If a woman proposes to you, I think she really wants you, though. But maybe not, though.
That's a big flex, man.
Maybe she wants the bags and she's forward with it.
What if you don't have a bag? We always assume a nigga got a bag too. It's too easy to just clown men for lacking things. Yeah. It's too easy. We don't clown women for shit unless they have a flat ass or no titties or a butterface. We only clown women for like their attractiveness. Men get clowned in the bag we carrying, the check coming in, the lack of masculinity in this, wearing jewelry, smelling good. You can't even smell good and you can't even have like a skin routine. You can't even have like skincare. I think
I've seen dudes say cologne is soft.
They say everything is soft.
People are stupid, dude. I love cologne, bro. I feel like because like you know it mixes with your personal body, your pheromones, and your body scent, and you can really get something good, unique going on with a cologne and a scent. They remember you, especially that shit lingers in the room in the bed when they think about you at night. Like that's your signature. I don't know. I always thought colognes are dope. I love cologne. I have a lot of cologne. You know, I can't really wear them right now because my nose is sensitive, but I love cologne. But yeah, dudes, I don't know, man. I personally, and that's a great conversation out on a podcast. Is like we could even just put that in. I think sometimes instead of only just doing topics you find on the internet, we should just probably bring our own like this. Just bring a random topic.
Oh, then let's intro.
Okay.
Come on.
Which is this 62?
This is 66.
66.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Top Tier Podcast. My name is Poppy.
Nick Hogan here.
This is episode 66. This week was quick. This week went by quick, dude.
Yeah, we got a good show plan, though. We got a good amount of topics here. We were just talking about Drake's search and rescue video randomly. We got a Drake topic coming up, so that's what we were talking about, Drake.
We got a lot of Drake. Yeah, so, yeah. I don't know if you guys ever saw that cover art for Search and Rescue, but it's like Drake in the back of a motorcycle, and there's like a beautiful woman. They both have the same like black helmet on. It's like at night, and she's riding the motorcycle, and he's just kind of in the back, just like
holding on.
Do your thing, girl. Just holding on.
Do your thing, 21.
Like kind of like
maybe he was 21 under there. Maybe 21 was wearing a wig. I'm just playing.
That's hilarious. And for some reason, you know, we're just talking about just like men thinking everything is soft, and like I was just like, man. And I posed it like, is that soft? Like that kind of looks. I thought it looked soft. Because it's Drake, you know, like from middle school, like I remember like
because 20, it's Drake, exactly. Yeah, that's
like
it.
When was this? Like 2010?
It was 2009? A long time ago.
It was like people were making the Drake the type of nigga memes, like Drake the type of nigga to hit his finger and be like, I got a boo boo.
Because he's like, romantic.
This is stupidest. Like
you notice that probably switched his mind frame. Because remember in the beginning he was making like real romance breakup songs where it's like she broke up with me. Now he's making songs talking about he had a dog. Yeah. Next album coming out, It's for the dogs.
It wasn't 2009.
You see, he was wearing.
It was 2011, 2012.
You see, he was wearing a fucking dog mask coming out of the hotel. What's wrong with this nigga? What's wrong with him?
He's getting. You could see him. Like, I don't know if you saw that. I clipped that one of our homies sent to the group chat where he was like, it was some kind of joke about Jamaicans, and he said combination. Like, he said it like in the Jamaican. He was doing a song. He was like combination.
He did a freestyle, yeah, with one of the dudes on that rap Caviar list that we're gonna get to, Central C.
And people were like, and like, I'm not saying he looking old, but like, nigga looks like a dad. Like,
he is a daddy.
I mean, he is a dad, but like,
can I say that? Is that masculine to say he's a daddy? Can I say that without getting a clown for being fruity?
Fruity? Nah, man, fuck him. Like at the end of the day, a lot of us guys, we constantly checking. I guess, is that the toxic masculinity?
It is. It's very much so, bro.
It's always just a constant like dick policing. Like, do you still have is your manhood intact?
Right. You got to check people.
Like, it's kind of a little sus if you think about it. Like, but if you want to take it there, but like, dudes are always trying to make sure another man's manhood is intact. Like, is your manhood intact? You know,
I think it's just because they're too insecure about their own masculinity, their own, if they're straight, their own sexuality, to where if they see another guy that's too comfortable, like I'm to a point now where I'm just like, I've gotten to a comfortability level where I could just naturally just say like, that guy is handsome, bro. Like, that's a big step for men, though. I've
always been at a point where if a dude's good looking, doesn't mean I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a straight man, but you can be objective and be like, that's a good looking person, male or female.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to cut.
I'm recording.
Anyway, yeah.
You can be objective and say someone's good looking. Now, if you sexually attracted, it's a whole different thing.
No, but like, you don't have to be sexually attracted to them to be like, that nigga is hot. I probably wouldn't say that. I probably wouldn't say that out my own mouth.
The word's a little different. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I'm saying, like, if you're a straight guy, it should be okay for you to say that another guy is hot. Is it the biggest deal? You know what I mean? But
I get what you're saying. No, I know you're straight. That's what I'm saying. I just think and
not you personally, just like in general. Like, if you're just hanging with a homie,
if you just hanging with a homie, but like, I'm just saying, you know, and you can use whatever words you want. Right, but I'm just saying I wouldn't use hot to describe a man.
What about
when I think hot? I think that's a sexual attraction thing.
Right, I know what you mean.
But I could say a dude is good looking. Like I would say the dude's good looking. The dude probably gets a lot of women or men if he's gay, and I leave it at that. Like
right.
That's probably the most. That's probably the most I would say.
It's too easy for us to clown each other, bro. It's too easy. Should we start talking about Drake? We have some Drake topics to get to. I saw that Ebro said that he was upset at the fact that Drake dissed Childish Gambino on his tour. Remember when he put up that?
That was really pussy. That was very pussy. Drake does shit like that all the time, though.
Yeah, he put up this little, I don't even know what to call it. Like the words.
It was
were
a banner. It was like a banner. Yeah. It was like some kind of like e-banner, like electric banner that like scrolled across, and it was like he was basically like, "This is America." It was like overrated, over awarded, and it was originally a Drake diss. Right.
And he was upset about that because he was like, "Why are you going after that song, that artist? Where that song obviously like that was like for black culture. You know what I mean? Like he was speaking to something. It was a political message in there." And he was like, "Well, Drake, you never speak on black issues. Like you're never speaking on black issues," and which is true. So it was an interesting mind frame. What did you think about that?
Well, listen, the dude who gets exposed for wearing blackface, it's the last person I'd expect to talk about black issues.
This is true.
He may not openly be cooning like a Kanye, but he's probably very much in that same kind of time. He's just quiet about it. Some people just quiet about it. Like,
but my thing is like, because I see your point. That's a good point. But he was like, what, 19, 20 when he did that? Maybe even younger? I
don't care how old you were. I'm not gonna, if you change
people grow and people evolve, that's what I'm trying to set up.
Like, that's cool, right? People grow and evolve, right? But people gonna comment on it. You can't stop them from commenting on it. You can't stop people from at least trying to get you to address it.
You could comment on it, yeah.
Yeah, you can't stop that.
I just don't know if that argument fits 2023. You know what I mean? But then again, you can, because like Ebro said, the guy doesn't speak about black issues ever.
Yeah, has the behavior have we seen a legacy of the behavior changing, or maybe not necessarily behavior, because that's something that just came out. It's not like he's openly cooning, but like I haven't seen any evidence to suggest otherwise. Honestly,
yeah. I just think because I always hold this this belief that like as an artist, I don't think or maybe not even as an artist, just like as a famous person, I don't think you necessarily always have to be in the media making like vocalizing like your political feelings. You know what I mean? And like championing certain agendas, championing certain legislation and whatnot. Speaking on black issues, I don't think that that's necessary. I don't think that that's their place necessarily.
He is the pop artist. I mean, I tell people, like, people who forget how big Drake is. We have a homie. He's like, how like you have LeBron haters, like anti-Bron sexuals.
Like myself.
Because you have Bron sexuals who are like obsessed, and then you have dudes who are just like
the antithesis.
They like they low key fans too, but they're the antithesis. They're low because they're obsessed, but they just troll and hate. But they're like low key fans too because they're like still obsessed with another person. I feel like he's like that version. I don't know about him being that serious about hating Drake, but he's a pretty big Drake hater. He's a pretty big Drake hater. I don't even know where I was going with this. I'm sorry.
I don't know. You were talking about our friend. I don't want to drop his name.
I don't even know how. Oh yeah,
talking about people hating.
Oh yeah. I remember now. Yeah. I'm like, but like, and, he downplays how big Drake is. He downplays how successful Drake is. He downplays his legacy. Like I went to Denmark, right? And I was on the train, and Scorpion was coming out that week, and just like there was like a stack of newspapers, right? And I don't know Danish. I couldn't read a single word on that page, right?
But you knew
on the
who
magazine,
it was,
Drake's face took up, I swear to God, like 70% of the front page of that magazine. I don't know if it was a local magazine. I don't know if it was a national magazine. I was like, God damn. I was like, it's like, like I don't know how big the town was, but Denmark is not a very big country. So I was like, dude, I'm like, God damn, Drake is that famous?
Yeah.
That he's like the biggest topic on that newspaper for that week or that day or whatever.
Do you bring that up to say, like, when you're that much of a global icon and you have that much of a voice, that you should be projecting it to champion certain issues?
That's probably why he doesn't, because he has that, like, the moment Drake talks about black issues,
alienating.
It's just people around the world just like, man, he's an E for everyone rapper.
Right.
He's an E for everyone artist. He kind of just is like stays away from that. He's probably his team and his management, and he probably just doesn't care. I think it's a combination of all those things, really.
It could be, because he does consider himself a black man, but that is an interesting point, though, because some people would argue, even though you're an E for everyone artist, well, you still have a loud voice. So you should be okay with standing on the right side of history and standing for the proper issues. And the people that don't ride with you on those issues, you should be willing to lose those people, lose them as fans. Then that's a good argument too. I'm kind of convincing myself otherwise, because what I just said, like I don't really think like Tyler the Creator has spoken about this. Like there's a lot of artists that have spoken about this too, but like I kind of do side with some of them when they say like that's not my responsibility. Like you shouldn't be looking to me, like how Charles Barkley said like way back, like I'm not a role model. Like,
and why are we looking at celebrities anyway? I see a lot of people posing the question is like, why are we looking to celebrities to be spokespersons of black,
well, I think it's for that very reason. It's because they are celebrities. Because people are going to listen to them.
Well, that's true. People are going to listen to them, right? But like a lot of these dudes are not qualified to speak on any of these things. A lot of these dudes are coons too. They get so lost in the money they forget they're a black man. They forget what the legacy of America, and they don't care.
I don't think that like. Just because I think it's for that very reason that you're a celebrity, that people look to you, because you already know that you have a lot of people looking up to you and are going to be moved by you. Like we weren't going to talk about it. I wasn't going to bring it up, but this is like, it fits too perfectly. The country singer Jason Aldean, who has that song, he just released that music video for called Try That in a Small Town.
Right.
And he invigorated an entire political base based off of the message of that song, right? So when you have that type of power and that type of sway, you can really sway minds. It kind of is like, why aren't you using that power for good? You know?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
I see what you're saying.
I kind of agree with it, but it's not really your place.
His fan base. Like, I don't know too much about that guy, but I've been seeing a little rumblings before I got on. People talking about it. People are talking about, is this the new right wing anthem? Like the dude is probably. I don't know much about white country music, but
neither do I.
I can tell from how they treated Lil Nas X. It seems like a very racist genre. You're not alienating anybody. In fact, you're probably invigorating them.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Most of your fan base are probably racist, right wing, small town, hick type people. Like,
so there's black people out here that are looking at black artists like a Jay-Z, like a Drake, like a Lil Wayne, right? Because Lil Wayne has some problems of the things that he said in the past about police brutality and stuff like that. Remember those issues when he was talking about how like he has a really great relationship with cops and stuff like that, so he's not going to backtalk them, or not backtalk them, but like he's not going to speak down on them and denounce them. But black people are looking for artists and celebrities to speak on our issues and speak for us. And, you know, some of them do it, some of them don't. I think it's their decision. Like I said, they're not politicians. So I guess it goes both ways.
I just think Drake has transcended the culture. That's why. When you look at
which
guy.
Which way do you mean that? Like in a negative way?
Not necessarily
because he considers himself black.
It's literally me just saying the same thing as he's an E for everyone rapper. He's a pop star. More than anything, he has transcended the culture. Like when you look at that small town country guy, he just shouted. That whole song was like shouting out the culture, which is that country MAGA, right wing kind of dude. Like
small town shit.
He was just like, I ride with y'all. This is a what's up to other fellow racists. What's up? You shouted out the culture, and they shouted back. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, but Drake has transcended the culture. That's what I'm saying. It'd be different if it was like Public Enemy type rapper, just fuck the cops, man.
Like how we look at Kendrick.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you shouting out the culture. That's all it is. So that's all I really got to say. I mean,
and then
you can't.
And then sorry, but like moving on from that, like because it kind of relates. Elliot Wilson, who runs a rap podcast, was just talking about Drake. A lot of people talking about Drake right now. I don't know if it's because he's in the limelight because of his tour or like the album coming out or whatever, but there's a lot of Drake news. So people, it probably is a little bit of hate, but they're making some good arguments. But Elliot Wilson said that he was upset that Drake took this recent interview and even talking to Yachty too, and he called them outsiders, but he was saying like, why is Drake taking interviews with outsiders instead of coming to the culture for the interviews? Because we already know like the Joe Buddens, the Breakfast Clubs, Rap Radar, Elliot Wilson's podcast, and Drink Champs. There's a lot of other platforms you can be on besides talking to some random like 20-some-year-old white girl.
Right. Drake probably don't give a fuck about these dudes.
I don't think he does.
He really doesn't. I'm sure a lot of name drops we not drop. They talk shit about him. Like, why would he go on Joe Budden? Why would he go on act?
They show love. They show love.
You think so? I feel like Joe Budden has talked crazy shit about Drake.
Joe Budden, yeah. So I'm just naming it. I don't mean like he should actually show up. He probably wouldn't do that. But like, Joe Budden's just one of those names.
Drake is a Canadian too.
Big platform.
Even though he's a Black American by lineage, Drake is a Canadian raised with a white mother. I don't think Drake even cares or he's even thinking about it like that.
Doesn't have that mindset.
I don't know why he went on this particular, what's her name? Bobbi Althoff?
Something. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why he would go on her show. I think what Drake would go, I mean, he probably has, and we're just not aware of it because I don't know much about Kai Cenat.
He doesn't really do interviews.
You would think he would go on Kai Cenat. He hung out with Ninja.
Did he?
Online, at least. But I consider
like that. They streamed together?
Yeah, when Fortnite was really big and Ninja was big. But like,
I think I remember that.
You would think he would have went on Kai Cenat. I feel like Kai Cenat would have been a cool place for Drake to go.
Yeah, but that's kind of like, to Elliot Wilson's point, like, why aren't you showing up with the black people, with the black cultural leaders?
He probably doesn't care. I don't know. That's where I kind of start to wonder, do you think maybe it's he don't feel black enough or he don't feel like a real true attachment to the culture? Like, plenty of people rap and don't even like black people.
He has enough of an attachment to be, not I want to say appropriating because he's of the culture, but you know what I mean? Like he attributes a lot of different sounds. Like he adopts a lot of different sounds from a lot of different other black cultures.
Because there are a lot of rappers who don't even like black people. And that's true. I agree. He had a whole phase where he was pretending to be a Caribbean. And now he's kind of dipping back in it where he was like on that freestyle. He was like, combination. Like,
Combination.
my dude, if you don't get back to your white block in Canada, get the fuck out of here.
666.
You are not a goddamn Caribbean. Get out of here.
Nah, but like he should be allowed to do that though. I don't know necessarily, to Elliot Wilson's point, getting back on topic, I don't know necessarily about like him. It's kind of the same argument what we were just talking about. Like since you're such a big icon, you can bring a lot of attention to a lot of black endeavors. Right. Just based off of the fact that you're Drake. That video, I looked it up just now, has over 2 million views. It's been 2 days. Could you imagine if he was on, and I don't know like the numbers of views that the Drink Champs normally gets, right, or that Rap Radar normally gets, but I can guarantee you it's not no 2.5 million views in 2 days. I can guarantee you that.
Drink Champs, that shit went nuclear. If
I
remember correctly.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why Kanye said he showed up for that interview, is because he wants to support the culture. Because Kanye was kind of on that shit too. We already know about Kanye.
Kanye, man, that man is just living his life. That man got a new wife, booed up, living his life. I wonder if he ever makes a comeback.
Kanye.
I mean, he's a Nazi, but that's a whole other thing.
I'm gonna have to blur all this out too. Yeah. I'm gonna have to blank all of this.
Man, that would be funny if instead of blurring it, you put in the SpongeBob dolphin noise when they were cursing.
I could do it. I'll do it this episode.
That is hilarious, dude.
I'll find it. Send that drop to me.
I'm gonna send that drop to you.
I'll put it in.
He was like, I wonderful day we're having.
I'm gonna do it. What else we want to get to?
Let's
Come on.
move to the Rap Caviar list.
Okay, let's do it.
There's a whole bunch of cap, blasphemy, industry plant shenanigans going on this list.
You did not like that list, man. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Let me see. You did not like that list. I thought it was fine. So what Rap Caviar did, if you guys aren't familiar, it's a Spotify playlist called Rap Caviar. Great name too. And this year they did something with they partnered with Kevin Durant, and they did something that's related to the NBA, of how the NBA handles their end of the season awards, where they give out a first team, a second team, and a third team, an MVP, and a Rookie of the Year. You want to just walk through it? You just want to go like, what do you want to start with?
Let's start with the first team.
So all right, let's start with the best.
These are what they're saying are the dudes, men and women who are going the hardest right now in rap.
First team, Rap Caviar. We got 21 Savage, Drake, Metro Boomin, Lil Baby, and Lil Uzi Vert. People said Lil Baby is falling off though, so I don't even know how he made this list.
Trash.
I think he's trash too, but
you would think he would have been done long before DaBaby even came on the scene.
Now, just looking at this list, man, I can already tell what they were going with when they did this. They are obviously going based off of relevancy and clout. This has nothing to do with skill. Okay, so we're going to get that right out the back, because I already know the rap purists, whenever we start talking rap purists love to come in and talk about, oh, but the lyrics though. Oh, but they use the same flow though. They always have all these technicalities and shit. This is based purely, I think, off of relevancy. That's why Lil Baby is on this list, and 21 Savage as well is on this first team. Metro Boomin, that's a good, because what we could do.
Look at the ball. You see what's on the basketball, right?
What, a fire?
You don't see it? You didn't catch it?
Oh, a Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was waiting for it. I was like, when is he gonna bring up? This is all because Spider-Man pops, and he produced that whole album.
I didn't zoom in on it. No, Metro Boomin he's booming. No pun intended. Well, pun intended actually.
The album was heat. Did he do the last one? I don't think he did the last one. I don't remember though. He might have done.
I think he did. Yeah.
The album.
And then Uzi's on here. Uzi's only on here because he just released an album.
Yeah.
And Drake is on here. Let's go to second team.
Gonna be on there. Drake is always
because the first team is the first team. We already know. Second team is where it gets a little spicy.
What has 21 been doing this year other than 21?
He had Her Loss. He was on Her Loss with Drake. That's a big album, dog. That's a big album.
Right, second team is interesting. Tyler should be on here. Yeah.
Yes.
That little run he had with those little deep cut songs he dropped, that was enough for him to get on here.
Dirk should be on here.
Dirk just canceled the tour because people weren't coming out to see a dude just hold his phone and just rap over a track.
Is that what he does?
That's what all these rappers do. That's why I've never seen.
He be holding his phone?
I'm not holding his phone. I'm exaggerating. I'm really making fun of all of them. But like, I'm exaggerating. A lot of these dudes don't put on shows. Like the rappers who put on shows, I think are like Drake, like Tyler, like Kanye. Outside of them, I would never go to see a rapper in concert because all they do is just play their song on like off a phone and just be rapping to it while the song is doing most of the work and they just dance. Like I don't want to
like
see
that's
that.
what the audience likes, man. It seems like the audience don't really care about them actually singing along and rapping along.
I want to see instruments. I want to see singing. I want to see her dancing. I want to see a performance.
Cause they turn up, dog, at these fucking like these Rolling Loud festivals and shit.
Yeah.
Playboy Cardi, they said started a fucking earthquake.
Jesus
Christ. At his festival, or not his festival, his concert in somewhere in Europe.
I would go. Someone paid for me.
And he never fucking raps to his lyrics. He don't.
I would go to a
festival
just because it's a festival, but I would never go to a concert to just see a random ass rapper.
Yeah,
never do that.
Yeah.
Lil Durk, people love Broke Boy. What's this dude? Young Boy.
Broke Boy. Broke never broke again.
Yeah, I said Broke Boy. I mean Young Boy never broke again. I don't get it. They love this dude.
He's
they
huge,
love
dog.
This guy. They love him.
I think he's like the biggest YouTube. He has like the most YouTube views for music videos in like all of music.
Jesus Christ.
I think they said it's something like that. Like he breaks YouTube records every single time.
That's wild, bro.
Get to your hate though. Get to your hate.
Now I
know you got something to say.
Of course. Ice Spice is like the it girl.
No, not Ice Spice. But she is on the second team too. Not Ice Spice though. Who's the other one?
The last one is Coi Leray. Now, I don't know. You can't sell 10,000 first week and be on any type of all-star team.
Say it louder.
That'd be like you rode. That'd be like you rode the bench all season. You rode the bench all season on the worst team in the NBA, and then all of us. You made it to the NBA though.
No, dude.
But you rode the bench all year on the worst team in the NBA, and then all of a sudden they're just like, you know what? He's in contention to get an MVP.
I think that what it is because you don't watch basketball, so I can't really relate it. But what it is a basketball player who might be a sixth man, right? They're not the starting five, but they're a sixth man, right? But they had a breakout year. So that's the reason why maybe she shouldn't be second team. Maybe she should have been third team.
She should have been third team without question.
You cannot debate that she had a breakout year. And for that fact, she's going to be on one of these teams. They just decided to put her on a second team because I guess like the level of clout that she has, they thought it fit. And then also like moving in the third team, like I always say when we talk about these lists, like who would you replace her with? You going to replace her with Glorilla?
She's in a big. I can give it to her in the sense that if Metro Boomin made it on here, it makes sense she made it because that song that was like the biggest song on that album that she was the one on it. It was just her on it,
and she had hits this year, dog. She had a lot of hits this year. She had like 2 or 3 different hits. Granted, I didn't like the hits because she'd just be stealing melodies, but that's like again, that's first week sales. But what I said, like, who you gonna replace her with? So let's go to third team.
All right.
Glorilla, Nicki, NLE Choppa, Don Toliver. Great fucking. I'm so glad they put Don Toliver.
I'm glad you asked that question. Nicki should replace her. She should be on third team. Why is Nicki on third team?
I can ask you the same goddamn question that you asked. What has Nicki done this year? And I'm not dissing Nicki because I love Nicki.
She was on that big ass song with Ice Spice.
So she hopped on a remix and
I don't know, man.
Exactly.
Okay, fine. Because I'm looking at legacy, but they're not looking at legacy. They're looking at what happened this
year. I think it plays a part. Because I actually did hear Kevin Durant when he was talking about this list. He said that legacy does play a part. Like seniority does play a part. That's probably even why they put her on third team and didn't replace her with like Sexy Red or somebody that has like a up and coming like who's that chick that got fucking. This sounds terrible. I can't believe this is actually about to come out of my mouth. But who's that chick that got sexually assaulted? When she was on stage by that one little nigga.
I don't know.
Like Suki?
Oh, Suki Hana. You could have said a myriad of things. She was doing it. She had an OnlyFans video that got leaked, and people were saying her juices look like gravy, and like she was unhealthy. It was nasty, dude. People were saying she went to like London and was like twerking in public, and people were saying you embarrassing us in public. So you could have said, "Oh, sorry for hitting."
Damn.
Sorry.
you meditating over there?
I hit this water bottle by mistake. I had this thing in my hand and I accidentally hit it. Yeah, man, you could have said a million other things. In this last 2 weeks alone, she been up and down my timeline. They've been clowning her.
Yeah,
up and down my timeline.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, who are you gonna replace her with? Like, they could have put her on there instead of Nikki, but they decided to give it to the seniority. I'm glad they put Don Toliver on here because he never gets any love, bro. He never gets any love. Did you listen to his last album?
Nah, I should though. I like him.
Bruh,
don't get me wrong. I actually like his music. First time I heard him
to.
was Can't Say on Astroworld. That was years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people just see him as a Travis clone. Now, you did show me that one song recently where he kind of branched out a bit, and it was good.
Mm-hmm.
He should keep doing that. But
bro, you gotta listen to that last album.
He's like a Travis disciple, I don't think in a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah, but he's breaking out of that mold into his own sound. He's finding his own voice now. His production is, you could say, is similar because it's kind of like hypnotic, little acid trip type beats. But his voice is so unique. He has a very unique voice, and he creates an atmosphere that I think a lot of people would dig. And I never see him getting any love. Never see him getting any interviews or any like Grammy nominations or nothing. I don't even think BET Awards nominated him this year. He never gets any love. So I think it's about time. Like we talk about, if we really trying to talk about like relevant rappers,
right?
That have some skill, that are actually making good projects and actually making good music. Like Don Toliver is one of them names you should bring up. I don't know who this Central C nigga is though. I don't know who that is.
I have no idea who that is.
I literally just actually found out who he was because he was on that freestyle with Drake that we were talking about.
Damn.
What did he say? Combination. Should that be that might have to be the title?
That's gonna be the title. That's gonna be the title.
Combination.
Yeah, and then there's another thing they did was there's an MVP leaderboard.
Yeah,
this is quick. I mean, it's literally the same shit. They just ranked it. So it's the first team, but Drake's leading it, then Metro, then Uzi, then 21, then Lil Baby. I think they should flip Metro and Uzi, and I think that would make it completely accurate.
Well, this is voter choice.
This is voter choice. They put Metro because people love that movie, understandably. But what else has Metro done besides produce that movie? Which
Metro had he had an album this year. That had a pretty good song, or a pretty big song, I should say, because I didn't really like it that much. I forget who it was with though. I forget what it's called too, because I didn't really like the album that much. Let me see. Who else you think? Let's go to the rookie one. Talk about the rookie one.
Central. It was at the bottom. Glorilla, then Central C, then Destroy Lonely, La Tyler, and Ice Spice.
It's called Heroes and Villains. That's the album.
Villains. Interesting. Heroes
Superhero.
and Villains.
That's the name of the title.
That sounds like it was like a prequel to that other album.
No, he like makes films like with his music and his projects. He's really cool. But like for rookie, Ice Spice should win this.
Oh yeah, easy. What you can't even argue it.
She's leading in votes. She has like a 2,000.
Yeah, bro. Like all these, look at the middle three. All these dudes are unknown dudes. Their votes are so close. It's ridiculous.
Ice Spice should win this one. Ice Spice should.
And Gorilla's at the bottom.
Get all of the best new artists and like the breakout stars and all those MTV awards and blah blah blah, the Grammy shit. Ice Spice should get all of those awards. She should get all of them. If you're trying to say Glorilla had a better year than Ice Spice, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself.
No, she's the it girl, man. She was in commercials. They was making her like an anime girl in like this like soda commercial. Like she was everywhere. You can't really get away from Ice Spice right now.
She deserves it.
And she takes it on the chin. I don't know how she takes it behind the camera, but I like how she deals with trolls, bro. She just kind of like, you could tell they're just irrelevant. At least that's how she treats the trolls, because they were trying to say she looked like she had Down syndrome and shit.
Oh, you didn't have to say it.
I'm just being honest about I don't believe it, but that's what the internet started saying. They started talking crazy.
Added fuel to the fire. Nah, bro, I love Ice Spice, man. I don't know about her skill necessarily, because I just listened to her deluxe album that she put out this weekend. She had like a few joints on there. I don't think she has much more to offer. I mean, it's early, she probably just started rapping like a few years ago or whatever, and she's just now breaking out. So she'll add some more skill or whatever, but just like as it currently stands, I don't know how much longevity Ice Spice really has because she's not really building off much, you know?
And she doing her concerts don't look nothing impressive. It looks exactly like what I've always said. Like I just said earlier, these rappers they're just no stage presence. It's just let me just.
At least she raps though.
Yeah,
that's the one thing I'll give her is that she'll actually rap her bars.
Let's all sing along to my song. Let's all sing along to this song.
But she's rapping though, like that's I'll give her that. At least she's fucking like spitting up there. She's just not really that talented.
Yeah, she could have a resurgence of, like if she gets a big team of writers. She gets
a team around her,
really good ghostwriters, and link her up with some other.
And she's already got the connects and stuff. She was talking to Taylor Swift and she's talking to Drake and. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's move on. What else do you want to get to?
Jamie Foxx addresses allegations. Now we talked about Jamie Foxx in previous podcasts about how like people were saying that he was like there was a page, one of those fake trolling rap pages that was saying that families were thinking that they said the family doesn't think he's gonna make it. They said reports come out that saying that people are saying they could buy. It's like, god damn.
Yeah,
people were lying.
All fake news. All fake news. Wasn't no credible sources that were talking about that shit. That shit was actually spawned off of a nigga named Dr. Drew. Anybody ever heard of him?
No.
Who the fuck is Dr. Drew? You gonna believe a nigga called Dr. Drew? Y'all barely believe fucking Dr. Oz. You gonna believe Dr. Drew?
Right.
Oh yeah, I was in the room. I'm close to somebody who was in the room with Jamie Foxx, and they're saying he might not make it. He's in critical condition, and everybody ran with that shit. So he had to come out, and he didn't really say much about it. All he said was that, just thanks to the fans for your support. He didn't really give any clues as to what the condition was that, he ended up in the hospital was. People were trying to say it was COVID related or whatever, but he didn't confirm any of that. He just was like, I'm good. We still working out here. He was cracking a few jokes or whatever and just led with love instead of led with the hate, which is great.
Man, it's his business. I kind of wish he kind of let us know what happened, but that's really his business, while he was in the hospital. Yeah,
it's interesting that you say that because I've talked to like a few people, and I've also been seeing people say this on social media too. Like a lot of fans think that he kind of like owes them in a way to kind of talk about like what his condition either was or still is, if it's lingering, so that way they can. I don't know why they would need to know that, but I guess they feel like they're kind of owed that. Like he should have came out. I've heard people say like he should have came out and said something like weeks ago. We all know he'd been fine for like a good amount of time now. I don't really agree with that. People would think that they need to have like access to celebrities' lives, and
I guess weird. It's because and I don't remember where I saw this, but it said pre-internet celebrities were mythical. People just saw them on TV and thought you're there, you've been validated, you've been recognized. It's a mythical thing, but once, we kind of got a glimpse into their lives because of social media, people think now they have a say over it. Before it was
social media,
untouchable.
Like, it made everybody feel like that's the same thing with like texts, for example. Like before we had people texting each other, if somebody didn't call you back for like 2 hours, you weren't thinking anything of it. They'll call me back when they fucking can.
Right.
Now we think that we're owed that level of entryway into your life. If you don't text me back within 5 minutes, then I'm upset. You're ghosting me. Like, what's wrong with people?
People are crazy. And people are obsessed with celebrities too, man. Like, I don't know if you saw that. And our friend we were talking about who doesn't like Drake. He picks fun at La Chosen and says like, you're like obsessed with Drake. You're like a Drake sexual or whatever.
I'm definitely a Drake stan.
And he sent like this video of like this late Drake was walking into a hotel. I don't know. It was like a couple days ago or the other day. And the lady was like, Aubrey! And she was on the ground, laying on the ground. He was like, that's you if you ever saw Drake. What would you do if you saw Drake? If you ever saw him out in public?
And I'd be like, what's up? You don't believe me?
You don't think you'd be like, I'm your biggest fan? Like
no. I treat him like a normal guy. And I'm like, oh, what's up? Like, I love your music, man.
Yeah.
What's happening? What's going on? How would you treat him?
Same way. I've met celebrities before, and I don't get starstruck.
No, I'd probably be starstruck.
It's always just like
I'd probably be starstruck.
I bumped into Lakeith Stanfield. I actually literally bumped into him like at a bar like years ago. It was like, when was that? Like 2018, 2017. We went to a bar because they knew it was like some like SoundCloud rapper's birthday party. But I guess Lakeith said he was gonna be there, and it was at a bar in downtown LA. They had rented out for the birthday party. It was like open to the public, and we went in there, and they were looking for him the whole night. We were about to leave. Nobody saw him, and I'm like, I'm facing the crew, and I turn around and I bump into a dude. I didn't even know it was him. I just said, "My bad, man. I didn't mean to bump into you," and I just like went past him. And it was like, that was Lakeith Stanfield, right? It was dark in there. It was pretty dark and had like mood lighting, but it was kind of hard to see. But I don't get starstruck. I guess I didn't know it was him. But even when I thought about it, and then when we walked out later, he came outside and they was waving at him, and I just kind of nodded at him, but I don't get starstruck.
No disrespect to Lakeith Stanfield, but he's not necessarily the type of celebrity that anybody would be starstruck by.
I don't know, man. Dude's pretty damn famous.
I'm just saying he's not the level of celebrity where you'd be starstruck, where you'd just be stopped in your tracks. You wouldn't know what to say. Now, if it was, I'm trying to think of somebody alive. If you saw Beyonce, you would be starstruck as fuck. I know I would.
I'll probably have a moment be like, oh, shit. And
yeah, exactly,
like,
exactly.
She's a regular person. But people,
exactly.
when I think starstruck, I think you were like, oh my God, celebrity. I gotta go talk to her. Oh my God, Beyonce.
That's groupie. That's groupie. I'm not talking groupie. I'm talking just like starstruck, like exactly what you said. Just, oh shit. That probably come out your mouth though. Yeah. If you were just grocery shopping, this will never happen. But you just saw Beyonce walk by and she just tapped you on the shoulder. It was like, hey, can you pass me a milk? You'd be like, you're Beyonce. That's starstruck.
Yeah. I would hate being a celebrity. I'm just going to the store. It's like, is that Pale Ale? Oh my God.
You're not going to the store as a celebrity though. That's why
bro, I don't
they
go
never
to
do
the store
that shit.
now. I Instacart everything. Fuck you, man.
That's true. I do the same thing.
I don't get groceries for shit. I hate waiting in line.
We're not about to unpack grocery shopping though.
But yeah, let's cover Adam 16. I mean Adam 22 and Tony.
Adam Cuck. I mean Adam 22.
Cuck 22.
Cuck 22. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, who haven't been tuning in, don't know anything about Adam 22. Adam 22 is a podcast porn star hybrid.
I'm so tired of covering Adam 22, dog.
Pretty famous guy. Has a whole bunch of tattoos. His wife, he does porn with her.
He's a culture vulture. That's how you should have introduced him. He's a culture vulture.
He's a modern age.
That's
DJ
all we need
Vlad.
to know.
He's a modern age DJ Vlad with porn.
And that paints the picture right there. Exactly.
That's all you need to know.
No, but he was we already talked about it last week. We were just like another random event happened with Adam 22 that he deserves, honestly. But Antonio Brown tweeted at him and said, "Can I be next?" Talking about his wife, that he wanted to do a porn video with his wife.
They were having a back and forth. I read it. He was like, Adam 22 is not with that little meat or something he said or something stupid. And it was just
all of a sudden he wants to maintain his manhood. All of a sudden, because at first I thought it was anybody can get it. That's what I thought at first. I thought he was on that time, and now he was dissing the dude that his wife did the flick with, and now he's dissing Antonio Brown. I guess he can't take the heat like he thought he could.
Well, the dude was dissing him, but that's a whole other. You got to defend yourself. You already kind of opened yourself up to be a cuck. I sent you that video where the dude was like, yeah, like she hadn't really been stretched out in a while. I had to handle it. And like, and they asked him then the interviewer asked him do you think that you fuck better than Adam? He's like, well, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
he does. He's a porn star.
He was like, well, maybe love might be the difference, but like in terms of just raw fucking, like, of course. Like that's what he said.
Dude, like he's a better fucker than all of us. He's a porn star.
That's like saying
the dude in the NBA is dissing you because he said he's better at basketball than you.
It was like a poor post-game reel for porn. Like he just came back from the game like, yeah, we flexed on him. Like, yeah, I had one more in me. He was talking crazy. Like it was. I didn't know that was the reason.
I thought the reason why Adam 22 was upset with the dude was because I don't even know that nigga's name, but you know his name?
Nah, but I don't know.
I don't want to keep calling him the dude, but like this is the Big Lebowski. But I thought the reason why he was upset was because he came in her.
That might be it because he told her not to. And this is also what he said. It came back to me. And then they asked him about why he came in her. He's like, well, like she hadn't been stretched out in a while, and my dick was just so numb, and I just could not tell. But then she went with it. That's what he said.
Did you watch the video? Be honest.
Be
honest, Elliot.
Being 100% honest, I did not watch the video. Being 100% honest, I've seen videos, I've seen like clips, and I've seen pictures. I haven't seen it. Let me be honest about what I saw. Let me
see that search history.
I'll show it to you, and you probably see a whole bunch of other shit in there that's not that, right? Because I'm open. Like people who try to pretend like they don't watch porn, I don't know what to tell you. Stop lying.
I'm sure like 90% of the world watches porn.
Exactly. So don't even try it in the comments because you're lying. If you was Pinocchio, you would kill me, and it would come through the screen. Stop capping.
Pause.
But like, you know what I'm saying? So only thing I saw is like a picture of her like in missionary, and he's like over her, and then there's like a picture of her like I think she's like he busted in her and she's like playing with it. It's like a picture. I didn't go looking for it though.
So she went. Yeah,
it was just on my Twitter. It was just on my
but I mean like Antonio Brown saying this. Number one, he was probably serious about that. So, but it's just jokes. Like this is the type. And Adam 22 was rolling with it at first. He was making jokes about it and saying anybody could get it, and you know what I mean. Like if you got the BBC, anybody can get it. Let's make a flick trying to get this money. I thought that's the time he was on. And Antonio Brown, maybe he has a beef with Antonio Brown.
He probably
I don't know.
Does. But dude, I think the dude came. If you saw the clip, it was so like disrespectful. He probably was feeling some type of way inside, and he just let it go.
Never again. He was like, never again.
You can't, because like the thing about it is like you can't open your relationship in that kind of way, and the dude is got a super BBC, and he's taller than you, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's like that does something to your manhood. Like, you know, it'd be like, I don't know, man. I think it's different. I just feel like if a dude is just in the bedroom leagues beyond you, you would feel some type of way, and you are opening a lot of him to pipe your wife, and he's just now coming back in the post game reel like, yeah, man, like she hadn't been fucked like that in a minute. That shatter a lot of men's ego. I'm just being honest, like
that's what he said.
Even if you were good, even if you were in her mind, you were good in the bedroom, and you opened up a dude who just changed her world. The relationship is doomed. That's just my opinion, though. Even if it's not with that guy.
This is what he gets, bro. Like, I agree, man. You can't be you can't be sending open invites to people to come fuck your wife, even if that's her profession.
Right.
And expect that people aren't gonna want to get a taste. I'm sorry, that's just not how it works. That's just not how it works. I can never be in an open relationship, dog. I could never do that.
I could never do it. People are crazy.
My insecurity is set up in a certain way. Like, I couldn't do that shit.
Because even if you open it up where it's like a lot of dudes don't care if their girlfriend hooks up with women, right? They don't care if they bring a woman in the bedroom
with just some sexist shit.
Right. But
as if a woman can't turn your girl out.
The minute she asks about a man being a man brought in and y'all run a train on her, then it's different.
Then you start stuttering.
Then you start stuttering and start wondering. And then she's going to tell you it's not fair. So you might as well not even open the door at all. That's really what it is to me. That's my mindset. You might as well not open the door, because the minute she's talking about, well, there's this guy I always thought was attractive, you know, can we bring him in and run a train? It's like, well, why? It's like, well,
you're gonna be starting asking the questions.
Then she's gonna be like, well, you had sex with 5 of my friends and brought him in. I can't bring a guy in. Why did you open the door?
You don't even want that question open. Well, how big is his dick?
Exactly. Then you gonna start asking questions.
No, but for real though, like when Adam 22 and Lena the Plug were going through the hiring process,
yeah,
that's probably a question that they asked.
Probably they had to.
Well, how big are you?
Yeah, that's probably the question. I didn't watch it, but it keep reminding me of the Academics interview where he was like, yeah, he just went all the way in, dipped in 12 inches. Like, he was just fucking crazy. Like, imagine, like, I don't know. She said she was sore for 3 days. Do women like getting rammed with, I don't know. Some probably do. I don't know. But, like, I would feel some type of way.
And honestly, like I'm not a woman. I don't have a vagina.
That's what I'm saying.
His dick
I don't
wasn't
know.
that big to where like 3 to 4 days. Damn. Like I would think that would take like a 12, like a foot long.
I haven't seen it, but that's what people are saying. Remember, he's a porn star. Like if you're a male porn star and you're like a blacked level, it's probably like 11 inches minimum, maybe 10.
I don't
probably
think
like
so.
To even appear, because like it's aesthetic.
Look it up. I want to see.
I don't want
to see. I don't want to see, but I want to know like the length.
The length of what?
The length of his dick.
Nah, I'm not looking that up, bro. I'm not.
Why not? You just said you have things on your history.
Yeah, but I don't.
Is one search gonna make a difference?
I'm not looking up the length of somebody's penis, though.
Why not? It's for educational value.
You had a computer. Look it up.
I can't. You
want to know? You want to know though?
Set up in a way. You know,
my computer's set up in a way too. You want to know? You got a phone?
I don't want that on my search history, dog. I just don't want it on my search history.
We already know if she's talking about if the dude's talking about she ain't been stretched out in a while, she's been sore. It's probably somewhere in this range.
It can't be, dog. It didn't look that big.
From here down to here, probably something like that.
It didn't look that big. Like, it was big, but it didn't look that big. Like 3 to 4 days. Like, I can understand a day. 3 to 4 is a lot.
So that's all I really got to say about the topic is that you shouldn't even open the bedroom. But they both porn star from the start. I don't know. I've watched a lot of videos I've just been curious, but I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube about like porn stars talking about how relationships just doesn't work out. Eventually,
some biopics.
I don't know, just interviews. I saw an interview from a few years ago. I think it was. I'm trying to remember her name, but it was like I think she was married. I don't know if she was married. She had a boyfriend, but she said it just didn't work out because every time she go to work,
Khalifa?
She getting stretched out.
Was it Mia Khalifa?
I don't think it was. I don't remember who it was now, but I don't think. How does that work? And you're as a man, and you know your girl is getting stroked down by professionals, like dudes who made it to the NBA of stroking down.
I would be sending texts like Jonah Hill.
Yeah, it'd be like a hybrid between like Jonah Hill and Adam 22. Like, don't let him come at you.
Oh my gosh!
Don't do these positions.
Right.
Only let him go half shaft in.
Ew.
Like some stupid shit. Like
just the tip.
Just the tip. He can't eat you out. Like some stupid shit. Like
no, I would think otherwise. I would think, man, we had to get off this. This, man. We only have a certain amount of time. We running it. Let's talk about Invincible. Even though I could go for dicks all. Wait, never mind.
Pause.
Never mind.
That's super pause too. The whole conversation was pause.
I want to keep talking about dicks, but I don't want to keep talking about dicks. All right. Let's talk about Invincible.
Yeah, man. For those who don't know, Amazon Prime. It's an animated, like rated R superhero show. It's kind of like in the realm of The Boys. I think that's a fair. They're different shows, but like the level of violence is very much in that level with The Boys.
Yeah,
like that like real violent, gory, Deadpool kind of, violent superhero shit. It's up your lane. So one of the characters got a prequel episode. They announced season 2's dropping in November. Now it's gonna be it's gonna be in 2 parts because of all the shit that's going on with with writers on strike and things like that.
I think it's done though. If they're putting out the trailer, it's probably already done.
You think so? Well, why are they releasing it in 2 parts? I hate that shit.
That's just like the new
shit is annoying
business model, I suppose. That's just how they do it now. Everybody's been doing that. The first time I noticed that they did that was with the Hunger Games. When they did the part 1, part 2 for the finale.
But they're doing it for TV shows. They started doing it with Walking Dead too, where they would do like mid-season finale, and
it's because people's minds, we move too quickly now. So with streaming services, they just drop the whole entire season just by boom at once. So because we don't do week to week anymore, that's the reason why if you split it into 2 parts, you can hold, and especially if you like split it with like good timing, where it's just like a month later, here's another 5 to 6 episodes of the season. You can hold people's attention for 3 to maybe like 3 months. That's the reason why they do it.
But I think Invincible is weekly, dude. If I remember correctly, I think Invincible comes out weekly.
It could be, and that's even better for them because instead of doing it for holding attention for like 3 months, they'll hold attention for like 4 or 5. You almost a half a year.
That's true. That's true. I mean, that makes sense, but it's a little annoying. But what'd you think of the trailer? I thought it looked good.
I thought it was cool. I'm not the biggest Invincible fan. I literally just stumbled upon it last year, I think, or maybe a couple years ago. Probably because you told me about it. I think you told me about it. I watched the first episode, and the shit was just so graphically captivating in the most violent way that it almost made me not want to watch it. But it was something I'd never seen before, so I just kept watching it.
Got a flashback of just spoilers for episode 1, but there was like a neck snap. There was somebody got their neck snapped.
Nah, he tore everybody up.
Nah, they were getting killed way worse than that. But it was just like
he was smashing heads.
He just grabbed somebody and just went, fook. He just went crack.
Ripping through chests.
That shit just rotated around. Like it was just like
splatting people in half. But nah, I thought
he took his fucking jabbed somebody through the face and just had him up on the arm. Like
I thought the trailer was fine. I mean, it didn't really show much. I never really think too much about the trailers these days. If I like the story, then I'm gonna continue to watch it. And there's not a lot of good TV shows on right now, so I'm just continue to watch this. I'm excited for the second season.
We're going through a renaissance of animation right now. It's gonna be talked about.
Yeah,
it's like post-COVID, which is kind of surprising, but this like post-COVID or COVID to post-COVID 2020 onwards, it's been a renaissance. Actually, no,
I mean, animation never really left though. Animation never really left though.
But it wasn't really. It was like soulless, like 3D, like CGI, hand drawn stuff was kind of going out the window, and it was like very kind of like gross to look at. But like
that is true though. The hand drawn is back.
Right. Spider-Verse kicked it off where it's like they fused the two. They've brought back the hand drawn soul mixed with like the 3D, and they've made it really fucking cool. Like
yeah, because you can't. There's nothing better than the hand drawn. It has a certain level of emotion that it captures that 3D animation, even though it may look more realistic, it doesn't really capture. The only people that I know is Disney, who can really capture the true essence of like the feel of a character through 3D animation. But that's Disney, you know what I mean? Like you're not going to just have like some random like bullshit studio who can really do 3D animation and they actually like all these random animes that I try to watch on Netflix and shit that do the 3D animation. It's just it's disgusting.
It's gross. It's gross. Yeah,
it's disgusting.
No. Like
what did you think about the trailer?
I thought it was great, man. I'm very excited. I know I've spoiled myself a little bit, but I stopped because I want to be surprised again, and I know how the gaps between seasons. But I know
you read the comics, right?
I read like videos of people talking about the comics.
Oh, okay.
So Invincible, like we ain't seen nothing yet. From what I understand about it, that shit is so dope. And the thing about the show is that they elevate the source material, where they don't just like copy it 1-to-1 like they do a lot of anime. They'll cover the same story, but they'll add shit because it's the same writers and everything who wrote the comics. So they'll add stuff and they'll elevate the material. Like they don't just copy it 1-to-1. And I already know this is gonna be one of the biggest shows for the next 10 years. I'm telling you right now.
So it has that much lore already? 10 years is a long time, dog.
The comics are long. There's a lot of volumes, and it's like it's good. And
it's the same guy that wrote The Walking Dead, right?
The same guy who wrote The Walking Dead comics, yeah. And the comics are like they start off as kids. By the end of the comics, they're like adults, and they like 30s and 40s. Like it goes a long time, and probably even longer than that. I think it's like a super time skip at the end. So and they released a special episode for one of the main characters. They did her whole backstory. It was like an hour long Invincible episode. Animation was fucking on point. Definitely watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. That's all I really gotta say. Show's elite. If you haven't watched it, check it out, man. If you like that superhero, The Boys, The Boys is also on Amazon Prime. Check it out. You gotta get back on The Boys, bro. Season 4 is about to come out soon.
I'm not watching The Boys. I don't like The Boys. I don't like that show.
It's too violent for you?
It's just not good to me. I don't need to see just like superheroes fucking each other up the entire time and like having sex all the time. That's just not what I'm interested in.
Yeah, there's a whole episode. There was just like a mass orgy of superheroes, and they were like, there was like a larger mission of them infiltrating and trying to get somebody there, but like it was wild, dude. It was
they're just going for shock value. That's what that show feels like to me. Invincible was kind of the same with the first episode, but it felt like there was some heart to it. Maybe I was biased because I like animation, but I just felt like they had more to offer than The Boys. The Boys just feels like it's just shock value. I don't need shock value shows. If I want to watch a shock value show, I'll go watch some like random shit I see on Twitter or something.
Right. Okay.
But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in with us, guys. This was another fun episode of the Top Tier Podcast. You can catch us same place, same time next week for another new episode, and we will catch you then. Peace.
Take it easy, y'all. Hey.